Sanji's Siren Song. Chapter 9. Sanji's Bunk. It had been over a week, and Sanji was becoming more and more irritated with not only Ashiro, but the rest of the crew. Are you going to keep torturing the waiter, or are you going to make us all wear earplugs for 3 days? Zoro taunted Ashiro as she walked past. 3 days? There is no way it will be that long, Ashiro countered with wide eyes. The longer you keep him waiting, I'll keep adding on extra days, Zoro replied with a laugh, as Ashiro blushed to the tips of her ears. But she knew Zoro had a point. So she sighed. You might want to inform the rest of the crew that I'm off to check Sanji's stitches, so it might be loud. For a while. Ash replied, while Zoro gave her a salute. Sanji, are you awake? Ashiro knocked softly on his door before pushing it open, to reveal the man in question pacing his room. Of course I'm awake. Who the fuck do you think made breakfast? Sanji snapped, almost losing his composure with the siren. Sanji closed his eyes, took a drag of the cigarette that was in his mouth, and blew it out. Sorry, but... Sanji trailed off as Ashira set down the items she would need to remove the stitches. It's all right. I know I haven't been quite kind to you this week, but it does make me hopeful that these stitches can come out now, and we can lock the door, Ashira stated as Sanji unbuttoned his blue and white striped shirt in record time and sat on the bed waiting somewhat patiently. Ashira was gentle in removing the stitches, glancing up at Sanji's face to make sure he wasn't in any pain, while Sanji could only watch Ashira's hands. Once finished, Ashira set the scissors down, locked the door, and moved a chair in front of the door, just in case. As Ashira turned around, she was startled at how close Sanji was, and he had crept up behind her and swiftly backed her up against the door. Sanji brought his lips down towards Ashira's. Can I please kiss you now? He asked so softly that Ash thought she missed it. In reply, she snaked her arms around his neck and buried her hands in the blonde hair at the nape of his neck and pulled him in for a heat-filled kiss. Sanji's hands did not stay still. They roamed Ash's body, leaving little trails of heat over any bare inch that they found. Once Sanji located the hem of her shirt, he quickly divested her of the offending garment and promptly buried his face into her breasts, breathing in her scent of seawater and tangerines, before unclipping Ashira's bra and tossing it over his shoulder. Sanji pauses in paying homage to Ash's breasts and looks up, asking, Can I leave a mark? While dragging his finger along her shoulder to the juncture of her neck and shoulder. Ash nods. I need to hear it, sweetheart, Sanji whispers in her ear. Yes, Sanji, Ash replies, as Sanji gets to work, leaving a sizable bruise at the base of the column of her neck. Without removing his lips from Ashira's shoulder, Sanji picks Ashira up and moves her to his bed, where Ash straddles his lap and teases her tongue along Sanji's neck and takes her turn in breathing in the different scents that make up Sanji. Cigarettes, cooking, and him. Ashira feels his cock swelling underneath her and grinds down to add friction to her clit through his dress pants. I need you inside me now, Ash brokenly moans. Thank God you decided to wear a skirt today, sweetheart, Sanji comments, tearing the flimsy skirt and Ash's underwear from her body. I can't wait, Ashira whines while struggling with Sanji's pants between them and only manages to pull out his extremely hard-looking cock from the confines of his pants before sitting back onto him and sliding herself down his cock until she's flush with his lap. As their kisses become more needy, Sanji runs his hands through Ash's purple locks and growls, "Gods, I love the color of your hair." Ashira throws her head back and sings out a note so clear that it seems to spur Sanji on, peppering her neck and chest with kisses while thrusting up into his mate. Going hard and fast, Ash gasps as Sanji starts circling her clit with his thumb, while also pulling her down onto his cock. Ash is not sure if she has felt anything so intense in her life. Sanji can feel that she is getting closer as her walls begin fluttering and clenching around him, and he watches as Ash screws up her eyes so tightly, drops her head to his shoulder, screaming as she orgasms hard. Ash feels as if her body is moving on its own, and even with the oversensitivity, she finds it hard to stop. "If you don't stop, I'll come," Sanji warns, which seems to spur Ash on in her quest to finish Sanji off. Ash thrusts down with her hips, which makes Sanji grit his teeth and moan as he feels her. After a few minutes of them sitting together catching their breath, Sanji gently moves Ashira from his lap onto the bed. "Is that blood?" Sanji asks, a little worried. Ash looks down and wipes it away with her hand. "I think it was from the zipper of your trousers." Ash trails off with a yawn. "Sleep for a moment, sweetheart." "We have all night," Sanji stated, pulling Ash's body into his and curling around her. Sanji woke some hours later and noticed that it had gotten dark outside the Going Merry, and brushed Ashira's purple hair off her shoulder and peppered her back with kisses. Ashira moaned and leaned back into Sanji's body, twisting around to claim his lips with hers. "You ready for another round, sweetheart?" Sanji whispered. Ashira nodded in reply. Sanji helps Ashira scoot out of the bed and to lean over the edge. Sanji runs his hands up and down the back of her thighs, causing Ash to open her legs more, making it easy for Sanji to slide a finger into her pussy. "God, you're still so wet." Sanji moans, stroking the spot inside Ash, making her legs twitch and moan into Sanji's bedding as he adds another finger. "Is this what it means to be your mate? That I won't get enough of you?" "I can't promise that this will be gentle, darling," Sanji rambles as he stands up, while Ashira lets out another clear, sung note. Sanji moans as he pushes into Ashira. "God, you're..." Sanji comments as Ash shouts out when Sanji hits deeper, making her body rock against the bed. Sanji grabs her hips to fuck her hard, and he reaches around to rub tight circles on her slippery clit. Sanji snaps his hips. Ash's entire core shakes, and her legs almost give out. Sanji groans, feeling her clench, and quickly follows, coming deep inside her. Sanji collapses on her back, both trembling together. After a moment, Sanji scoops Ashira up and tucks her back into bed. Chapter 10. The Going Merry. "Gods, do you think they have finally finished?" Zoro complains to Nami on deck the next morning. "I hope so. I'm so tired. The earplugs kind of help, but that note Ash sings at the end, it cuts through my brain. I can see why sirens are dangerous now. Ash could sing us to wreck the Going Merry whenever she wants," Nami replied, rubbing her temples. "As long as the waiter keeps her happy and we keep him alive, we don't have to worry about that," Zoro reasoned as Nami laughed. "Good morning, crew," Luffy called out as he bounded onto the deck. "I wonder what's for breakfast," Luffy continued. "I think Ashira wore him out," Usopp complained, following Luffy into the sunshine. "Breakfast!" Sanji called from the galley. "Yay, food, finally!" Luffy called, bouncing for the stairs. "Coffee," Nami muttered, as she followed her captain into the galley, where she found that Sanji had somehow found the time to create a whole spread of pastries, toast, bacon, eggs, hash browns, mushrooms, baked beans, pancakes, orange juice, coffee, tea, and hot chocolate. Well, Sanji, I didn't think you'd have the energy for all this today, Nami commented, heaping food onto her plate. I'm surprisingly energetic this morning, Sanji replied with a smile. Ashira, not so much, he finished on a giggle. Gross, Nami replied, turning her nose up at the information. We don't want to know what you got up to with the siren, waiter. We all heard it, Zoro commented. Oh dear, Ash stared from the doorway, going bright red at the thought. Zoro looked over his shoulder when he heard Ash, and at least had the respect to look abashed. Sorry, he whispered softly and sat down with his breakfast. Sorry, Ash, Nami added as Ashira sat down next to her. Don't be too embarrassed. It's good to hear someone is having fun on the ship, Nami added as Ashira smiled. A few weeks later, while observing the crew, Ash knew that she could not stay on the Going Merry for much longer. Zoro, can I talk to you about something? Ashira asks, approaching the swordsman. Sure. What do you need? Zoro countered with a rare smile for the siren, who had grown on him. I can't stay here for much longer. You all need to go on and find your dreams. I must ask a favor. Please keep an eye on Sanji for me. I know he drives you crazy, but it would make me feel better knowing that he has someone looking out for him, Ashira implored. Zoro nodded at her. I will. Please, sweetheart, you don't need to go, Sanji begs Ashira a few hours after her conversation with Zoro. Sanji, you know I can't stay. Sirens don't normally stay with their mate for extremely extended periods of time. I've stayed long enough. I am a distraction not only for you, but for the rest of the crew. Ash stated gently, cupping Sanji's cheek. But you can guide us to the Grand Line, and the all. Sanji started. Stop. Ashira held her hand up and placed her fingers on Sanji's lips. If you ask anything of me, I will do it. But don't ask that of me. That is your adventure. You need to find it on your own. Plus, I'm only a song away. Maybe a bit longer. But sing my song, and I'll be able to find you anywhere from the East Blue to the All Blue. Besides, I may have my own adventure. Ashira trailed off, taking Sanji's hand and placing it on her lower abdomen. Uh, Are you sure? Sanji stammered with wide eyes. No, not really, Ashira admitted. So I must go back to Mako village and consult with the elders, since I don't have anyone else. But I'm strong enough now to swim back there without needing to call on the Delphine, Ashira continued. You will let me know, unlike your mum waiting to tell Zeph of his sons, Sanjay asked. Yes, I'll let you know, my love, Ash answered, cuddling into Sanji's shirt. Do you need to pack? Sanji continued. No, I don't need anything. I just have to dive over the side, and as soon as I hit the water, my scales will appear, and off I go, Ash stated as she saw Sanji's face fell. She pulled out a small turquoise blue drawstring bag and pressed it into his hands. What's this? Sanji asked. One of my scales. Keep it close to your heart, and you should be able to feel my emotions more clearly over the distance. That will be expanding between us, Shira replied. Sanji nodded and slipped the bag into his shirt pocket over his heart.